Hey, everybody. Greetings, salutations, and good Wednesday morning to you here on The Drive from the Findlay Hyundai Studios, coming at you at 99.5, 95.3 in St. George. Good morning if you're listening on 93.1 in Cedar City. How are you? Hope it's not raining up there or maybe even a little snow. We haven't gotten much of that this winter up in Cedar City or anywhere really across the state of Utah. And it is good to have you on 1400 AM as well as everybody listening on the app, the website, or watching the show. You can always watch the show now on our YouTube page just under the Fan Sports Network. Hit the live tab and make sure you subscribe so you can set your alerts and hang out with us every single day. See, Tara's done her hair, and Paulie has not shaved his mustache. And I didn't
pretty
shave.
consistent.
I didn't shave either, but I'm not trying to grow a mustache. It was a must-win situation to get back on track. I said the other day on Monday, we were doing big deal, no big deal, which we only do on Mondays here on the show. And there was a BYU question you guys posed.
Yeah.
I can't remember how Tara phrased the question, but Paulie, you were starting to hit the panic button that they were losing Big 12 game after Big 12 game, and this felt like a get-right game they had to have. So does the next one, for that matter, because there's some tough games still to follow, and BYU keeps kind of going the wrong direction. They've dropped all the way down outside of the top 20 in the latest rankings. They were in Waco last night to take on Rob Wright's former team, the Baylor Bears.
Yes.
And they found a way to win. How about that? KY gets the W. It's been so long. They've been grinding. They've been fighting. They've had a tough stretch, tough teams. I feel good about a 99-94 win last night because BYU needed it desperately, and they trailed for a good portion of that first half.
Yeah, we were setting up for the Snow Canyon game, and I guess you were tuned in on your phone or something and said, hey, the BYU's down by 12. And
Yeah, they were.
I'm like, wow.
That's the typical first half for BYU.
That's right, but they did end up making not the second half push. They pushed at the end of the first to tie it at halftime. That was pretty key. And then AJ, again, I think he's cemented. I was kind of surveying Twitter after the game. Aaron Torres, who is a Fox Sports Radio host, just like us, 11 to 2, Monday through Friday, in the St. Louis market. He's just an NBA fan, tweets a lot about these breakdowns of the top prospects. A day after Darren Peterson missed the game against the number one team in the country, AJ DeBonza played all 40 minutes, scored 36 points. Why? Because his team needed a win and because his team needed him. Mm-hmm. That's what a franchise-changing player does.
Oh, there's no question AJ is the number one
I think
pick.
he's cemented it now. With Peterson's inconsistencies
I thought that you have been the Peterson guy. You've been like, look what he's
don't pretend
doing.
to be off the Peterson train. When we were down there for his birthday, you were like, I think Peterson too.
Yeah, no.
After a head-to-head, when they played, I was a little bit worried. I thought Peterson, but he's such a wimp.
He is a wimp.
He had flu-like symptoms. For all we
Every
know,
game.
he drank too much Pepto-Bismol and he had a tummy ache. I mean, who knows?
Too much vodka or something.
Who
maybe.
knows?
But who knows if he likes to party? Who knows?
But AJ carries himself like the number one pick on and off the court. Watching him go through the handshake line, thanking everybody, looking at everybody right in the right. This kid was raised right.
He was.
You can just tell he's raised right. There's a reason he's playing basketball at BYU.
Well, we met his dad, Ace. Seemed like
he was
a great
in the
guy.
studio.
Yeah, was a great guy.
Former police officer.
Yeah.
Very strict, very stringent, but there's nothing wrong with that. And he is grooming AJ not to be Spider-Man like he wanted to be when he was a kid, but to be the Spider-Man of the NBA, maybe.
Yeah.
Right.
And be the next big thing. 14 out of 20 last night. 7 assists, 40 points.
36 points.
36 points in 40 minutes. Sorry, I was thinking about the 40 minutes because that is the whole game. Him and Rob Wright did not come off the floor.
That's right. And before we transition to Wright, this is two of AJ's best ones here. This was in the second half, just starting the second half. This is 19:02 in the second, just about a minute in. This is kind of gets BYU going the right direction, still down by a couple at this point.
DeBonza initiates off the wing. Gets the switch from Powell. Drives on Powell! Oh! Air AJ takes off.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Air AJ. I like him.
AJ. Wow.
Like that
was a good
play-by-play
call.
guy. Yeah, it was. Very good.
Do you think that Jordan liked that call?
Probably not.
I don't know.
I'd be trademark.
Yeah, I mean,
complaints
Aaron
coming.
Jordan is kind of in a class of his own. If you ask me,
I know.
That's kind of like Bo knows, you know. It's like
Yeah.
that's for Bo Jackson only, but Air Jordan.
But look, there's like only a couple players you could even do that with, and he's one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And you probably shouldn't do it with anybody as an announcer. I don't know if I've ever compared anybody to Michael Jordan. We make comps all the time, but I don't think I've ever compared a college player to Air Jordan, and that's what he did right there. And that's okay. That's okay. Maybe he didn't mean to. Just came out in the moment, and that's what you want from your announcers. I didn't hate it. That's the number one pick in the draft. I have never changed my stance on this. It's been AJ all along for me. Then it's Peterson, and then it's
Probably
Boozer.
not Peterson anymore. I would probably go Boozer over Peterson, even though Boozer is more of a below the rim player. His production and just the Duke's team prowess, they'd be nowhere without Boozer. I mean, they'd be a fine top 15 team, but he's the reason they're a top 5 team.
It just depends on if you need a scoring guard or
I
if
mean,
you
Carlos
need a power
Pops played
forward.
for the team. Like, I feel like if DeBonza goes 1 and Peterson and Boozer on the board, you go Boozer. Family connection, great player.
If the Jazz are picking it
If
too,
the Jazz are at 2, I would want Boozer over Peterson. You already got Keontae.
I know, but you just traded for Jaren Jackson.
True.
You have Filipowski. You have
let
a bunch
Kessler
of bigs.
go.
If you re-sign Kessler,
You let him go.
If you have Markkanen, you have Nurkic, who's been playing tremendous lately. That's a lot of bigs. There's not a lot of minutes to go around for
That's true.
Boozer.
Yeah.
But
And
do you
so-
want this Peterson? It seems like he only plays when he wants to
No,
play.
I want AJ DeBonza.
Yeah.
Okay, well, if he's not available, he
Trade
goes number
trade
one.
every single draft pick you have over the next
said that
8
about
years.
Cooper Flag too. You said
I did.
You were like, let's trade the Mavs whenever
You
they
should.
want. And I'm like, nobody's picking up that phone call. Nobody's going to even listen to your phone call, no matter how many picks you throw in, because Cooper Flag is changing the direction of that team.
Well,
he
and
is.
they had to. They had to after what they did with the Luka Doncic
They couldn't sell
situation.
their fan
No.
base on a bunch of first round picks.
No.
They needed a here and now
It
solution.
depends on how the ping pong balls bounce and who's picking in those spots. Again, this is really too early. This is a
It is,
conversation
it
we
is.
can have for days and weeks after we know who's drafting where.
Okay.
Until then, it's just kind of a big board and they can go in any order and it's just talk.
But have you noticed how many teams are tanking this year?
They want AJ. He's
not
a
just
generational.
AJ. Not just
Oh, the
AJ.
top of the draft is loaded.
I mean-
Kingston Flemings.
Yeah.
I love him. I love the kid Toppin too.
JT
I don't
is
know.
good.
I think he's a lottery pick.
Kingston Flemings, Boozer, Peterson, and DeBonza. If you're a top 4 pick this year, you are landing at least a star.
Yeah, and the Jazz will probably get the 5th again.
Yeah, and then you could still get the Wagler kid from Illinois.
Yeah.
I mean, it's deep. There's a lot of good players and young players in this NBA draft. So the Jazz better stop winning. I'll just say that. They're winning too much.
Just
you
throw
know?
in the towel right now.
Play the pups, play whoever, but don't keep winning.
Yeah.
That's got to get that top 8 protected.
Take one for the team and lose.
That's right. It's like a baseball player. Lean into that ball.
Yeah,
Get that
right.
free pass.
Yep. Take the hit.
That's right.
Solid win. Solid win. BYU's women also won
wait.
last night.
We got some Kevin Young in the post game.
Oh, you want to play KY?
Yeah, we can play him real quick. We got 2 clips from him. I think this is the one. Is this the turnovers one? The first one or the second one? I think this is the first one. So let's go ahead and play this one. This was Kevin Young on on the guys' response last night after losing 4 straight games. This was pretty powerful from Kevin Young. It seems as if he really got the most out of his guys last night.
Saying we needed it extremely bad, and you know, every season's different. Every there's just adversity. You know, you're not going to steamroll. Definitely not through the Big 12. Did I think we'd ever get to a point where we dropped 4 straight? No, I did not. But honestly, man, I'm proud of the guys' response in terms of even the Houston game. I thought the way we battled in that game against a high-quality opponent was stuff I felt like we drew from, to be honest with you, in this game. And, it's a long season for a reason. You know, you got to you got to ride the wave, and I'm just proud of the way that our guys gutted this out and showed up, especially at the beginning where, we had to kind of find the right combination of players, I think, and different guys stepped up. And so that for me makes it even more rewarding for our team.
Right combination of players. It was a shorter bench.
It was just 3 guys.
Yeah.
I mean, Richie, Rob, and AJ scored 80 of the 90 whatever points,
Yep.
99 points. So, I mean, that's
KY in practice saying these guys need to score. These are our scorers.
But is that sustainable for the tournament, for the end of the season, leaning on 3 guys
if they
that
score
heavily?
80 points together every single night, they would win the national championship.
But is that
Paulie.
going to happen?
Is that possible? I wouldn't count that out for AJ. Rob's track record at scoring 30 has not
Career
been
high,
great.
right? Career high of 30.
But he's a point guard.
Yeah.
Although nowadays you have to be a scoring point guard. You can't just be a pure point guard in today's game.
And he was inspired to score in this game specifically.
Look, Richie, I think Richie's a pro.
He is second-round pick.
I don't think Rob is a pro in the NBA yet. I can't translate that. AJ, if he's the number 1 pick like I think he is, then Richie's a second-round pick, and Rob's probably
coming back
a
to
free
school.
agent guy eventually that gets a look on a 53-man but might have to go to the G League or Europe to start.
He's going to come back to school.
He could. Very much
he
so.
will.
Yeah.
He's not going to be.
Keep taking that money.
Yeah, I think he's getting paid good at BYU, and he's also probably not going to be drafted if he goes this year, in my opinion. I kind of side with you on that.
Yeah.
one. So,
Good stuff. All right, can I segue now?
Yeah, go segue now.
I wanted to mention this because I've been tracking Olivia Hamlin. Did you see
Yeah.
what she did last night?
I'm not. What happened?
BYU beat Iowa State,
Wow.
snapping a losing streak in conference play against the Cyclones.
Wow.
And she had a career high 23.
Wow.
Is
Nice.
Olivia Hamlin.
Is Iowa State the team that has that Audie Crooks girl?
Don't know.
Let me look. I just want to make sure.
Who's
I think
Audie Crooks?
She's like
Tara, do you know who Audie Crooks is?
I don't.
I don't either.
Okay,
Polly,
I'll find it out. I'll send you
I
a
am
picture.
impressed that you've been watching women's college
Yes,
basketball.
I'm up to the latest.
Or
Trying to
at
be.
least following somebody on social media
She
that's
does.
watching basketball.
She's number 55 on Iowa State, averages 25.5 points a game
Yeah.
for the Cyclones.
Haven't heard much about her.
She had only 18 last night, was held under her average. So good for the Cougars and good for Livy Hamlin.
Yeah, yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. BYU kind of getting the ship back on course, getting the sails back up and going back in the right direction.
That's right.
For the Spanish loot. I mean, these guys have too much talent to be losing that many Big 12 games in a row. As good as this conference is, that was a gut check game last night on the road. Big 12 play, good coach on the other bench, and Scott Drew. A little revenge game. You know what? They had to have it, and they found a way. They found a way. So, good win for the Cougars. Probably could have went a lot of different directions at the start of the show, but I think a lot of people are excited about this team and this March Madness, especially if you're a BYU fan. But even if you're just a college basketball fan in the state of Utah, when was the last time a team from Utah made the Final Four? It was Andre Miller and Keith Van Horn and those Utah Utes back in 19...
Andre Miller and all those guys, yeah.
The late 90s.
Doliak and whatever.
Yep.
Wow.
I mean, we've been waiting. We haven't had a team from the start. I don't care if you're a Utah Tech fan, an SU fan. When we get to March Madness, except for maybe Ute fans and Cougar fans, they just don't seem to like each other. But I do know some Ute and Cougar fans that when their season is over, they still root for the guys in state.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Beehive
We
guys.
just want our local teams to all to be relevant. I mean, Utah Tech is relevant right now. Huge game tomorrow night with UVU. They've got a chance to be the 1 seed in WAC Vegas. Probably the most, honestly, the best chance they've had in a long time right now where it sits with 2 home games coming up that loom large to put themselves in a position to get that 1 seed and give themselves an advantage and an easier path to punch the ticket to the NCAA tournament. There's only 7 teams in the conference right now. UVU is not eligible. So that's exciting for Southern Utah basketball fans.
I can't imagine what an NCAA tournament berth would do for Utah Tech
It'd be
basketball.
huge.
It'd probably be the biggest athletic achievement that the school has ever gotten. I mean, at any sport. I mean, going to the NCAA tournament is a massive deal. The selection show, you see all those schools in those rooms where they're just waiting for their name to be called, and how crazy schools that have been to the tournament over and over and over, those kids get. But what about a school that's never been to the Division I NCAA tournament? That would be a hallmark achievement for Utah Tech and Coach Judkins.
Yeah, and it would come relatively quick from getting off of that probationary status where you have to wait it out and you're not postseason eligible. To punch their ticket this season would be a dream come true, something I have been thinking about for years and years, broadcasting Utah Tech games, but have never seen happen in over 23 years covering this team. So, yeah, there's a lot of excited people, including local broadcasters, that are fired up for that opportunity. Haven't accomplished that yet. Still a lot of work to be done, but they put them in a position for us at least to have that conversation.
Yes.
You know, and there's been a lot of rough years, you know, a lot of transition years from out of the glory days of the junior college ranks to the D2 ranks. That was a tough transition. Then we got it going. But then when we got it going in most sports, we made the jump to Division I. And then you kind of set yourself over again, and you have to reset and start fresh. And now we've got enough years under our belt. And you got to give Juddy and his coaches some credit right now. I'm not sure this is the best coaching job Coach Judkins has ever done, because there's still a lot of work to be done, but it's in the running to potentially be one of the best, if not the best, seasons he's ever coached.
Yeah.
I would agree.
Because he's had some good seasons. So I don't want to say that's a fact yet, but it has the potential to be.
Yeah.
And that's what's exciting right now. That's what we love about sports, the opportunity to make plays. The opportunity to win a starting job, the opportunity to get to the playoffs, and have, you know, memories that will last a lifetime with your brothers or sisters. So good stuff. We're off and running. It's The Drive. I want to come back, Region 9 recap. We had 2 big playoff games. We'll update your basketball brackets. We'll tell you all about who the teams that had buys are playing on Friday as well. We'll do that. We'll come back with some highlights and recap last night on The Drive. Good morning. Show today brought to you an opening rant from our friends at Zag. Protect it better. Get screen protectors that come with a lifetime warranty. Get, you know, charging ports, phone cases, pop sockets. But the screen protector, man, that's a lifesaver. If you don't have one on your phone, you pay a lot of money for your phone. Go protect it better with some help from Zag. 2 St. George locations, Boulevard Commons, Dino Crossing, and then up there as well with that Cedar City location. We'll be right back. Hey, everybody, welcome back. We are live in the Finley Hyundai Studios on a Hump Day Wednesday. So do the Humpty dance, Paulie. I didn't see you doing the Humpty dance.
Yeah.
What was up
You
with
missed
that?
it.
I missed
Come
it.
on,
I was doing
tie
it
it
while you were
together.
gone.
I see where Tara's coming from. Yeah, we are.
Devin's picking up what I'm putting
picking
down.
it up. I'm picking it up. It's a good day to be alive. It's going to be a great Wednesday. Thank you so much for waking up with us. We want to get into a little bit of the high school basketball last night.
Yeah.
We love local sports, right? We're all over high school basketball on the Fan Sports Network. We cover it better than anybody. We had 2 games last night, simulcast with radio coverage. We were jumping around. We started with the Desert Hills game. That got a little lopsided. I don't know exactly when you guys took over the radio broadcast. Somewhere in the third quarter, I think, where your game was a 4-point game at halftime and mine was a 15-point game. And then Judge was pulling away, pushing up to 26 points last night at one point.
Wow.
They just, without Jack Openshaw, just too much length, too much athleticism. I know this 8-15 team was on paper, but that team last night can win a state championship. Judge Memorial could win a state championship.
Wow.
Now,
What are they, a 17 seed?
they are the 17 seed. Usually, I would never say there's 17 teams that can win a state championship. Usually, I would say top, 12 or 10 or 8 even some years. But this year, after seeing that team last night, and Pat Amico jumped on during halftime with me. He was over there watching that game. Kind of taking a live look at Judge Memorial just in case. He wouldn't meet, probably wouldn't meet him until a potential state championship game. But I don't think it's crazy. Now, they did have one major catastrophic thing happen last night.
What's that?
Their best shooter got ejected with 2 technical fouls.
Oh, no.
Ishmael.
What was he doing? The finger gun or something? Or?
The
Sam Cassell
The Sam
bit.
Cassell bit.
Okay, I like that
You
bit.
want to show everybody what Sam Cassell did?
I could do it if you want me to
Now,
do it.
look, we didn't get the hero cam angle of him running back down the court after a transition stop and pop 3.
Sorry, that's hilarious.
He hit 7 threes.
Okay, so maybe he had reason to do it.
He was celebrating.
Okay.
He had already got 1 for chirping at the official earlier. He was a talker. You could tell he was trying to get in the Thunderhead a little bit, and he paid for it. But you're up 20 in the second half, you can't get ejected.
Yeah.
All right.
You kill your team if he can't win an appeal, and I don't know if he can. This was not. We just had an appeal won this week with Colin Simmons, who, if you hadn't heard, had a couple dunks, got technical fouls for hanging on the rim. One was probably tech. The other one, I don't think he hung on the rim. I don't think he showboated whatsoever. And so they've rescinded one of those, and they have allowed him to play. But if you get ejected from a game, you can't play the
You're
next
out,
game.
yeah.
So I don't think this
Carries
one.
a suspension.
I don't think this one will be appealed. If you said something
You
to the
can't
ref,
taunt.
that's automatic.
He was,
and then the Sam
he was
Cassell thing,
celebrating,
yeah.
but as he's running down the court, it's almost taunting. And the official was right there 5 feet away from him. He didn't really give him much of a chance. So
Tara's learning what the Sam Cassell bit is.
yeah,
now.
she wants to show the world. Yeah, it's
It's a great expression. It's a great demonstration
Yes.
of how you're balling out there.
Now I didn't see it. I was told by somebody after the game. I said, "What did he do?"
Yeah.
And that's what I was told.
Okay.
So that is what somebody, at least in the building, thought last night he did to warrant the second technical, which came with the ejection.
That is an easy one to
Yeah.
get.
Yeah,
if you're doing that, that's pretty demonstrative of that you're.
I mean, look,
showboat.
they'll have the huddle camera, they'll have game film, their game film. They'll have to look at it from every angle. Maybe they won't even appeal it. I don't know if this Judge team can beat Provo, the number 1 overall seed, without their leading score.
star, yeah.
But you think this is one of the most live 17 seeds we've seen in a
Oh my
long
gosh!
time?
Well, they got 2 kids eligible at the halfway point.
Yeah.
The Utah Prep kid, Boji.
Boji. Okay.
Boji. The M is silent. It's Boji.
Boji. Okay.
Boge. It's Boge.
Boge. Okay.
Massier Boge. This kid comes from Utah Prep, transfers to Judge Memorial. He's got a bunch of junior college. He's 6'6", uber athletic, had a breakaway dunk last night. we went with that as our AW People Playmaker play of the game. But Ishmael shot lights out from 3. This team was really good. Desert Hills just had no answer. Yeah. They didn't have the athleticism. They held Netta to 4 points, I think it was last night. I knew somebody else was going to have to step up, whether it was Chase or Arthur, because they were going to have all their athletes guarding, Netta and then Andrus, and they put bigger players on those 2 guys. And without Jack Openshaw to get in there and play physical, because they're not thick. They're real athletic bigs.
Judgment Warrior
that run the floor.
Okay.
And I thought maybe his physicality was much needed last night. They really, if there was a matchup where they needed Jack Openshaw, and Coach Allred told me, he tried to do a light workout. He just got a little bit dizzy. He's just not quite ready. We couldn't get him past protocol. He wanted to go.
Yeah.
Trainers wouldn't clear him. You got to do the right thing, though. When you have they thought he was close enough, though, that maybe he would be available for Friday if Desert Hills would have won the game last night. They just couldn't. Couldn't. So kind of a lopsided victory. And, look, this roster was this Desert Hills roster was not a state championship winning roster.
No. But
they won 3 region games. They were in a lot of games. They played really hard, and they should be proud of their season. But they lost to a better team last night. But this team was misseeded because when you have transfers come in the middle of the year and you've only won 2 games and then you win 6 out of your last 9 with these 2 guys, you're misseeded.
Yeah, you are.
You're
misseeded. 2 different seasons, basically.
I mean, they played Lone Peak tough. They beat East last week by 17 in the regular season finale. This team is not, from my eyeball test, there's no way on this green earth that is a 17 seed.
So if what was his with the Bop? What was his last name?
Boge.
That's right. If Boge plays against Provo, who you taking?
Boge will play against Provo. It's Ishmael that got ejected.
That's right. Sorry. If he gets an appeal, then is able to play.
I think I think Provo wins now. I think he kills. He had 24. He had 7 3-pointers. He looked like a young Jamal Crawford out there last night, Paulie. He looked like Jordan Clarkston, high volume shooter.
Yeah.
Just stopping in transition, popping, quick release, gets a shot over anybody. He's 6'3". He signed at CSU Pueblo. So you're getting a next level kid and you don't have his services against the number 1 overall seed. That is a backbreaker. Now, maybe they can rally for him. They can make it interesting. They can play them tough. But if he does not play, I am picking Provo. If he plays, I am picking Judge.
Okay.
Wow.
That's how much of an impact he made in the game last night.
All right. I like
now, this
that.
was my first time seeing Judge play.
Yeah.
Live. So I've seen some clips on film and stuff prepping for the game yesterday, but that was it. But that team's pretty good. And they're well coached. They're disciplined, except for this moment. Coach makes them work hard on defense. They don't take sets off on defense.
Yeah.
So I was very impressed. They hold Desert Hills, to a low output last night. They held Desert Hills at 35% shooting. They made a lot of shot clock winding down. Desert Hills just passing around the perimeter. Not a good shot available. And then they had to cast something with 3 or 4 seconds on the shot clock.
Yeah.
It happened multiple times last night. So Desert Hills season comes to an end. I think it was a really good coaching performance. You got to remember they had a lot of kids leave their program, and so they just didn't quite. But I liked some of the younger guys coming up through the program. I liked what Taysom North did last night. He looks like he could be a really good, 3-point sniper for them next year. He works hard on his game. He had 5 points. He was our Jersey Mike sub of the game for Desert Hills last night. They got a couple other young pups that they're coming up through that I think I like. Brazel. His game, he's going to be back. So we'll see. We have a clip or two. This is last night. A big dunk on. This was what we went with as our Appliance Wholesalers Plus Playmaker play of the game. Here's the call last night from some guy.
One thing I know about Taysom North, he's very happy that the Seahawks won the Super Bowl. He's a big Seahawks fan. And a breakaway, Boge, one hand, tomahawk dunk.
There's your boy.
Our boy was calling it, not Boge.
Yeah. Well, I had to get Taysom North is a Seahawks fan. I had to slip that in there because he had just, I think moments before, had just made a 3-pointer, and he got a lot of run last night.
Yeah.
They went a little smaller lineup. They needed some 3-point shooting, and Tyson Arthur did what he could. He was in double figures. Here's an and one for Tyson Arthur, Tara, that 9-second clip.
Okay.
There you go. That's the and one. This was a nice play. You know, he really had a good season. I got to give this young man credit. He was not on my radar at all, and he made a name for himself, I think, in the region this year with how good he played.
Even better defense, no shot available. Now Arthur will force the issue, shoot it up, miss it, get it back, score it, and one for Tyson Arthur.
Yeah. All right.
Some good things last night to go into the offseason.
Silver linings.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Look, I think everybody knew Desert Hills didn't have a state championship winning roster. Even though they got a home game in the playoffs, I was worried about this matchup. In fact, our camera guy's like, hey, what do you think tonight? And I'm like, I think it's going to be a fairly good game, but I think Judges probably, if there was a line on the game, would be 3 or 4 or 5 point favorites. I just kind of felt like that getting ready for that game without Jack Openshaw. I felt like they were home dogs last night. And
sometimes you do the old, like when I played high school football, I would always glance over at the other sideline, say, all right, size them up a little bit. And just seeing Judge Memorial with the size they had.
Were you chirping?
No, I wasn't ever chirping. I was just quietly observing. I left the chirping to some other guys on my team.
So in pregame warm-ups, instead of warming up, you were staring at the other team. Was it a stare-down contest?
Not stare down.
Were you really looking past them to the
Sizing
cheerleaders?
No. Just walking around doing stuff, warming up. As I'm doing that, I'm glancing over and looking at the size of the other team.
Isn't that what film study's for?
Yeah, somewhat.
I'm mesmerized by this. I'm getting a visual of a young, round, ground and pound Paulie Ratliff with his jersey too big and his pants hanging off his tailpipe, staring over at the team, going, "Let's go!"
It's the same for any sport.
You're mine.
It's the same for any sport. Everybody does the eye test pregame and says, "All right, we look like we match up with these guys." You never did that in high school?
No.
Really? Okay.
No.
Wow.
Maybe that's why we won a football state championship.
Okay, my team would smoke your team 100%.
Yeah, probably.
We had a pro player,
Oh.
Jonathan Allen, like a 10-year NFL pro.
So John against our 11, we won on 11. We got a chance. We got a chance.
You got me too, baby.
And we had some Division I athletes, but we were undersized. You guys would mob us in the trenches.
That's right.
Like, we were a smaller school. You grew up in Virginia in the metro area. We were farm boys.
That's right.
That lifted hay bales instead of dumbbells.
You guys were a multiple-time state champ, though. I remember you talking about the Royal High days.
We do have a little dynasty in football at my alma mater. There is no doubt about that.
That's right.
No doubt about that. Let's switch over to the other game last night, and then we want to update the matchups for you here. Region 9 recap this morning brought to you by TDS. Go to hellotds.com. Check out all their deals on TV and internet service. You can bundle everything together with your internet. Check them out. hellotds.com. Let's go to the jungle where you guys were. Paulie and Tara, you guys were there, so I'll let you guys kind of lead the way. But this game, I kept keeping updated on the scores, and I'm like, holy cow, Cedar came to play last night.
Absolutely. Ty Rowley, he was rolling last night. He had 20. I want to double check the box. I think it was 26 for Ty Rowley, 25. I want to make sure, but he was absolutely lighting it up from the. Cedar doesn't post stats on Max Preps. Okay, but I think it was 25 to 26 points, and he was absolutely on fire the entire game. And I was like, this guy is going to pose problems and late in the game just because his ability to make shots under pressure. And Cedar had a lead various points throughout the game. And Socayan just kept battling. And they were kind of driving on a flat tire. Reggie Mackey only had 0 points at halftime. He was held scoreless at half. So he comes out, he scores 11 second half points combined with Isaiah Thompson's big night of 22. Then, or 21, I'm sorry. Those two combined in the second half really propelled Jones Warner's 3-point prowess. Again, he started last night for the Warriors instead of Parker Olson, kind of adding going small and adding a shooter to the lineup.
Well, Olson and Hamlin were sick last night.
Olson still played, though.
Really sick. Yeah, I don't think Hamlin played, did he?
He did not.
He was sick as a dog.
Oh, no.
And so I think that's why you saw Coach Ball have to shuffle the deck a little bit. And the minutes were a little bit different than normal.
Yeah, but Jones Warner still
stepped up. He
played really well in the
absolutely.
Hurricane game, and then he's played well again this game. I think he's really earned a starting spot. Cade Kelsch provided some 3-point shooting and some great defense. But down the stretch, it was really just the plays that Cedar couldn't make because the defense really amped up for the Warriors. The pressure was there, some turnovers. We had a nice dunk from Isaiah Thompson on a tic-tac-toe passing play that was really pretty. And then the next play, Thompson stole the ball, he got fouled, almost scored again. He was in a zone. It was pretty cool. His dad was up there working the lasers and the light show pregame.
Oh, James.
And we were talking to him, and he was just like, he's just got to be the leader. He's got to, when Reggie's not playing at his best, he's got to step up and be that second guy. And he absolutely was last night for the Warriors. And that dunk that he had, I mean, it really amped up the student section and it got everybody going. And I think we got it here.
Yeah.
So let's, this is Isaiah Thompson last night with probably the biggest crowd pop of the night.
Goes all the way to the other side. And here's Thompson, and he hammers down.
What a cut and what a pass. Isaiah's been on the receiving end.
Yeah, good cut. Good hard basket cut. Good things happen when you go to the basket.
Yeah, good things happen.
That's not good defense.
No,
But,
it was wide open.
but that was a good effort last night from Cedar. I mean, even in a loss, this is a team that went 0-12, ends the season with 3 wins overall.
Yeah.
They got the very last seed. They're on the road. Nothing going their way. And I got to give credit to Coach Monks for rallying the troops, like not letting the boys give up. Like, hey, we're in this thing. Let's go steal it. Let's go see what we can do. And they nearly did. They almost took that away from Snow Canyon. You got to be pretty proud of that effort in an otherwise down year again for the Cedar Reds. And I thought they were better this year, but record doesn't indicate it.
Yeah. I mean,
But here's the thing that I will say.
This was
Coach
the best
Monks
game they
did
played.
not lose that team. This effort last night, he did not lose this team. A lot of times I don't think the 24 seed even wants to be in the gym.
That's
They're
what we
thinking
talked about.
going and throwing the shot put, or they're going to run the hurdles, or they're going to go play baseball, or they're going to go to go play golf and get ready for graduation, whatever they're going to do.
26 for Rowley.
Yeah, 26
15
for
for
Rowley.
Owen Ryan, 11 for Tippett. They had a big 3 last night.
Yeah.
It was really chiming in. So they played them tough. They gave Snow Canyon everything they wanted and more in this game.
Is Ty Rowley the best three-point shooter in the region?
The thing is, I hadn't seen him much. This
I
is
know,
my
that's
first
why I'm
time
asking
seeing
you.
Cedar, but yeah, I mean, the way he gets open, the way he manipulates the perimeter.
Would it be him and Cooper Ranson in a final head-to-head? Would those be the
3-point
two?
shootout, I think it'd be him. You got to get Lindquist from Crimson. He's a pretty good outside shooter. You could look at maybe Asher Blair's a good shooter from Herc. And
100%. So is Lincoln Stout.
Lincoln Stout. Yeah, you could round out like a 5-6 man competition. It'd be really fun to watch.
Yeah.
100%.
This was a really great 3 from Raleigh, too. If we play this.
Move. Needs help.
This is a good one.
Here's Rowley. He'll create space. The deep 3. And it's good. Touched every piece of that basket before it fell in.
What a shot in the hole.
That's a
Bounced
shooter's
everywhere.
touch, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I said the hometown bounce. He got that. And even in Snow Canyon, he got the hometown bounce.
But Snow Canyon does what they need to do. They don't get style points, but Coach Ball takes a win any day of the week, and he had a couple guys sick, and they had a hungry team, and you got to give them credit for bringing it. But 69-64, Snow Canyon wins it. Now, Snow Canyon moving on into the bracket for their next matchup.
Bobcats.
The
Yeah.
Skyview Bobcats. What do you make of that matchup for Coach Ball and company?
Long trip,
Got to
obviously.
go to Cache Valley. Yep.
That's right. So Skyview, I think, is the 8th seed. So this is 8-9. This is a tight.
This is a fun one.
Yeah, this is a really tight one. This is one of the closer games in every state tournament. Skyview basketball, they're more known as a football team, but 18-4 overall this year. So pretty good year for the Bobcats. Their leading guy is going to be Zachary Oxborough, averaging 15.9 points per game. McCade Roll is 14. So they have 3 scorers over 10 a game. So they're a balanced scoring team. I think this will be a really fun one. Snow Canyon's defense is going to have to be all over the place, guarding 3 different guys, being real consistent on-ball defense, and get some steals and blocks. Isaiah was a monster defensively last night. I just really think that the Snow Canyon team, with this win, how far can they go? Can they beat Skyview on the road? We'll find out.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Of course, they're in that same quadrant of the bracket as Provo. So Provo's got Judge Memorial, but Judge might not have their best best player and their starting point guard.
Yeah.
Snow Canyon's got to go to Skyview. That whole bracket is wide open. Like, I don't know what to think there. That whole side of the bracket, Provo Judge and the Skyview Snow Canyon winners will meet in the quarterfinals. That seems chaotic to me a little bit. Like anything can happen in that side of the bracket.
Yeah.
The other matchups after last night's opening games, Mountain View beat Stansbury, so Mountain View, the 13 seed, will play Cottonwood, the 4 seed. Dixie is on the bottom in that same quadrant with Cottonwood and Mountain View. They will play Ridgeline at home on Friday night because Ridgeline beat Bear River 78-62. So Bear River is out. Pineview, the 2 seed, they will play Green Canyon after Green Canyon, the 15 seed, won 78-63 over Mountain Crest last night. Then you have Crimson facing Murray. Murray beat Uinta. Murray's the 14 seed, 52-46. And Hurricane will play East after East beat Jordan, the 22 seed. Jordan falls by, I think it was 21. It was 73-52. So East and Hurricane, Crimson and Murray, Dixie and Ridgeline, and all these games are home games. Pineview, Green Canyon. All these games are home games on Friday night. We're going to have the Pineview game against Murray, and we're going to have the Crimson game against Murray, and the Pineview, Green Canyon game. Those will be our broadcasts on Friday night.
All right.
We will have Ryan Forsey doing the Dixie Ridgeline game. We'll have the links up on our website for that one as well, and we'll have a lot of updates on Hurricane. We just didn't have enough bandwidth to go 4 wide with 4 games on the night. We've got Ryan that can pick up the Dixie game, and we can get you that feed if you're looking forward. If you can't make the game, but we need one more crew, Paulie.
Yeah,
I mean, busy Friday night with so many teams playing.
Remember
at the same
days
time.
of the 3 crews back in the day when we had the other setup,
right?
The Hamlin setup,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
For football, at least we used to do that, but it was hectic. I remember.
Yeah, and so that is the plan right now. Now, if we can get a crew to Hurricane, that Hurricane East game could be incredible.
Could be, yeah.
That could be a really good game.
Tigers are my dark horse in this whole thing.
They went the furthest last year.
They went to the Final Four of the tournament last year. I think they're low seed. They've got a familiar second round matchup with
Paulie, this state tournament is wide open. I'm listening to what you're putting down because I think it's wide open.
I just think Brigham Kemp in his senior year. I wouldn't want to deal with that for any team playing him.
And he battled through a little sickness himself the final week of the season, and now he's feeling better. I gotta believe. So that's huge. So high school basketball center stage. So the boys last night, there's the winners. Snow Canyon advancing, Cedar and Desert Hills check out of the postseason. Season comes to an end. Girls go tonight. There's 3 Region 9 teams playing tonight on the girls' side. You got Cedar and Park City. You've got Crimson Cliffs at Skyview. So those are 2 of the matchups, and then the other matchup is Hurricane at Tooele. So those are the 3 games tonight. They're all road games. So we'll see what the girls can do, and then the girls will play home site games on Saturday this week. Got to get to a break. It's The Drive, your local high school sports leader, bringing you a little Region 9 recap from the opening round of the 4A state playoffs. Welcome back, everybody. It is the Drive Show today, brought to you by Prime IV. Prime IV has their big Valentine's Day specials. Guys, Valentine's Day is Saturday. And if you have waited till today, I got your helping advice. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to pick up the phone, or you're going to stop on by Prime IV, and you're going to go get the couples retreat. This is 2 Passion IVs that's going to make you feel fantastic, give you a boost, energy, make you feel good, maybe set this table for a little romantic weekend. You're going to go get that, and then you're going to hang out in their zero-gravity massaging chairs, and you're going to enjoy some time with your significant other. The couples retreat, me and my wife went and did it last year. We absolutely loved it. In fact, I need to call down there and get an appointment today. Been busy with the front of the week, but I need to get an appointment down there, and I'll see you there at Prime IV. Trust me. Take my word for it. You're going to love it. Do something different. You can still get her chocolates if you want. You can still surprise her with flowers at work. You can still get her, another gift that she's been wanting, so she knows you care. Usually that includes diamonds, chocolate, or what else, Tara? What else do women like?
I like hockey tickets.
Hockey tickets.
So I'm not the one that don't ask me.
That's why she's hanging out with
Don't
us.
ask me. I'm not here.
But you do like Prime IV.
I do love Prime IV, yes.
I
I go at least twice a month.
Do you really?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for your skin, your nails, your hair,
Everything,
your
yeah.
energy.
Yep.
Just
I get the glutathione too, like that added in,
yeah.
just to get all the toxins out. Yeah.
Little NAD plus, put you 75 units of NAD plus in there.
Yeah.
Helps with all the good things and anti-aging.
The GHK 40, that's another good one for all the anti-aging and everything.
And if we're talking a different language, don't worry. The professionals at Prime IV can tell you about each specific blend. They have really detailed breakdowns on what their different super powerful drips do. But this couples retreat, take advantage. Last year, I know they did chocolate for my wife. She's like, oh, she loves chocolate. She got a little chocolate. They made it really special. It was really fun. They have a private massage room, too, with just the 2 massaging chairs where it's just you can just be with your spouse. And they have another room with a bunch of them.
Yeah.
So maybe you can dial in that private massage chair so you guys can have a nice little conversation, talk about what you're going to do after dinner later on at night. I'm just saying.
Setting the mood. I like it.
PrimeIVSTG.com. You can check out all their Valentine's Day specials. Pick up the phone and call them, or stop by on Riverside Drive. Paulie, the top 25 is out. BYU wins last night, but are down to 22. That was a really big win for the Cougars. We already got into that.
Yeah.
But is there anything else that you noticed with the new top 25 that was a little bit surprising? The one thing I always look at is where's the Cougars and where's my Gonzaga Bulldogs? Gonzaga, I know in one poll dropped down to 12 and then just boat raced Wazoo last night. I don't know if you watched any of that game, but they won by nearly 40 last night over the Washington State Cougars.
Yeah.
Arizona loses, obviously. You're wondering, if they're going to be on the one line, don't fret. They're going to be on the one line still. But there's some other teams that can work their way up to the one line, and there's some other teams that are falling off the one line. One team I noticed that was kind of flirting with the one line was Nebraska, and now all of a sudden after they lost to Purdue in overtime last night, they've lost, I think, 3 out of 4.
Yeah, they're struggling a little bit, and I wonder to see if Duke ends up being a one. A lot of Duke fans in the southern Utah area.
Lost to UNC in the rivalry game.
Do they hold serve, or does a team like UConn kind of find their way up with Houston, Michigan, and Arizona as the 1 seeds? I'm not sure yet. A lot of people love Duke. Duke's one of the big national brands in college basketball.
Yeah.
Are they going to be good enough to be a 1 seed this year?
And
That's one of my big questions.
They did bounce back last night. They hammered Pitt on the road.
But the ACC sucks. Well, the ACC's a bad league this year.
Well, UNC beats them, and then UNC goes down to Miami and gets beat by the Canes last night.
Yep.
So,
really, besides Virginia, Duke, North Carolina, and Clemson, the ACC is void of very good teams.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a very top-heavy league. The Big 12, much better league top to bottom.
Yeah. Houston, who we think is going to be on the one line, they're 3 in the rankings. They go to the Huntsman Center last night. They beat Utah 66-52.
Yes.
It's a nice road win, a cruise control road win for Kelvin Sampson and the boys. And This was a night where Emmanuel Sharp was the dude. 27 points. The only Cougar in double figures. Fleming's only had 4 points on 2 of 9 shooting last night, Paulie.
Yeah.
He struggled in the Huntsman shooting the basketball.
Yeah.
All right, just got a minute here. Anything else in the top 25 with the rankings that came out yesterday that jumps off the page to you?
Iowa State lost last night to TCU, and I actually want to play the clip when we come back in our top 8 at 8 because it's one of the worst court rushes I've ever seen. One of the worst.
TCU didn't know how to do it.
Well, they just had nobody there.
Oh, they were in Ames. They were in Ames. I didn't see this.
They were in Fort Worth.
Oh.
And they win the game, and there's just no...
Wait, it was a home game, and they were playing the number 7 team in the country, and nobody was there?
Well, you'll see by the court rush.
I do need to see this.
Yes, it's very funny.
Well, if you're listening on radio, pop on our live stream so you can see this. You haven't seen this yet because Paulie thinks it's
the worst
comical.
court storm I've ever seen.
Wow.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
For a win of that magnitude, you beat number 6.
And nobody there to celebrate on the court. Well, at least they won't get fined.
Yeah, they won't get
They didn't
fined.
do any damage. Hour 1 in the books. Hour 2 coming up when we come back to the Finley Hyundai Studios. I'm kind of digging the vibes today.
Yeah, she's doing a good job on the music.
Yeah, we criticize, so we when we don't like the song, so we gotta be, we gotta praise her when she.
That's right.
Comes up. I was vibing. I was vibing with that one. That's a good
Like
song.
Dawn's dog. You
I don't
praise
even
me
know-
when you play a good song, so then I just always play good songs.
I don't
Your
even
songs.
know who sings that song.
Me neither. I was
Magic.
at Magic. Yeah,
I
I was asked for that.
I've heard
pre-show.
it,
Yeah.
and I know somebody's remade it. I think as well.
It was a mega hit
Yeah.
when it came out.
Yeah, are they a one-hit
Top-
wonder type
top
band,
40
or do they have other deep dives?
Yeah,
Tara?
do they have
They have
any?
some other good ones.
Okay.
They're pretty good. Just groovy band.
All right,
Yeah.
I like that.
Hour 2, our headlines brought to you by our friends at Game Day Men's Health. Game Day Men's Health, it's the month of love, gentlemen, and Game Day is hooking you up. And if you are thinking about going out, celebrating, I know you got President's Day weekend and Valentine's on the same weekend. And if you're looking for sexual performance products, you need to go to Game Day Men's Health. These guys have the revolutionary P-Shot right now for 50% off. Look it up. Check it out. Unbelievable. Here's the thing. You got to be ready when the moment matters. You got to be ready. It shouldn't be a holiday that you should be nervous. It shouldn't be a holiday that you should be dreading. It should come with a little confidence.
Yeah, I like that.
Looking and feeling your best. Don't go into Valentine's weekend. What if tonight doesn't go how I want? Look, you're not alone. A lot of guys out there have that happen, and that's where Game Day Men's Health comes in, and they're offering 50% off P-Shots, part of their sexual performance package, helping men feel ready, confident, and in control. No pills, no awkward conversations, just results. Book your appointment at Game Day Men's Health and enjoy the night without worrying about it. Oh, yeah. Strong men don't guess. They get answers. I don't know how Tara feels about that tagline I just created.
What did you think out of 10?
I don't know about that one.
No grade?
Confidence? You don't like a man with
Oh, yeah,
confidence?
confidence, but your little slogan you just coined. I don't know.
Oh, no, I made that up.
Yeah,
I made that
can
up.
tell.
Let's workshop.
Let's get to what's trending. Again, brought to you by Game Day Men's Health. All right, let's go back to the high school basketball scores from last night. We had 3 Region 9 teams in action, 1 head-to-head over at Snow Canyon. Pauly Cedar put a scare into the Warriors, but
Yes.
Warriors pull away in that second half to grab the 5-point victory.
The jungle was rocking, and Tyroli did everything he could to prevent the Warriors from emerging victorious. But in the end, it was Isaiah Thompson, it was Reggie Mackey in the second half, propelling them on to a 69-64 5-point win. Very narrow, but at the end, they all count the same. So they advance on to the second round of the 4A state playoffs. We had Isaiah Thompson making a huge play earlier in the game with the dunk. He had a couple steals, some blocks. He was really active all over the court. So I really enjoyed his game. Dylan Luke as well provided some nice three-point shooting, as did Jones Warner. So really nice assortment of guys chiming in for Coach Ball.
Do we have a
last night.
Jones Warner highlight we can see, Tara? You said he should be maybe starting.
He was he wasn't our sub of the game because he started last night, but he hasn't been generally a sub.
Yeah,
but
he hasn't been a starter all year.
He hasn't.
But playoffs at home when they needed him, very impressed. He was the X factor last night. Don't you think? You expect to get double digits from Mackey. You expect Thompson to do some big things. Those have been the leaders of this
14
team.
for
Yeah.
Jones Warner.
Yeah.
He made some nice plays throughout the duration of this one. So
his older brother was a good player, really good defender, really long, really lanky, could finish around the rim. That sophomore season when they won the state championship with Owen Mackey, his older brother was on that team. So this is a basketball family.
Yeah.
So here's a highlight. Is this Jonesy?
Yeah.
I want to see what Jonesy did last night. Paulie's pumped.
See that effort from Hassler, the big fella, and he's running back. He's quick down the court.
Smooth.
Warner, 3 for Jones Warner.
See, and Mackey with a beautiful pass.
yeah, it was a nice setup, and that time with his feet set, already ready to go. But a couple times, Warner shot some threes off the bounce. It was really impressive, his creating a shot.
Yeah. And Reggie Mackey is a first-team All-Region guy.
Yes, he is.
But no points in the first half. You got to give Coach Monks and Cedar some credit for slowing him down.
He kind of, Reggie falls into the same category that I hope Brigham doesn't fall into, is that he's just a super good player on a team that's not at the top of the region.
69-64, Snow Canyon beats Cedar. The other game of local interest last night we had for you, Judge Memorial comes all the way down, and they beat Desert Hills 67-48 behind a big night from Ishmael. 24 points. He hit 7 threes. I'm trying to remember how many threes he hit. I think it was 6. Rote had 19. Boj had 10. They had 3 in double figures. Stifling defense, forcing Desert Hills into bad shots late in the shot clock. Brazel and Arthur had 10. Sam Chase had 9. Colton Andrus had 8. Tayson North off the bench had 5. Netta held to 4. Tawaifa only had 4. They did a really good job. Put a big, long, athletic guard on him, and he was getting some decent looks, but they were all contested, and he just kept missing. Those mid-range J's. Even his threes weren't really falling last night. And Desert Hills is out. Judge Memorial did have an ejection late in the game from Ishmael that scored the 24 points game high. And he was celebrating on a transition 3, and he already had a technical in the first half. So he is going to likely have to miss some time in that Provo game, barring an appeal. And maybe they'll submit the film to the state, and we'll wait and see. But as of right now, he was ejected from that game last night, which is a huge storyline when they play the number 1 overall seed Provo on Friday night in Provo's gym. Other matchups for the state tournament are now set. You have the bracket updated, and you've got Pineview now hosting Green Canyon. Green Canyon won last night. You've got Crimson hosting Murray. Murray beat Uena last night. Hurricane will get East, the 11 seed. They beat Jordan last night. Yeah. And Skyview will host Snow Canyon after Snow Canyon's win last night. Dixie, the other Region 9 team, hosting Ridgeline at home at the Hangar on Friday night after Ridgeline beat Bear River in the opening round of the 4A state playoffs. Sure. BYU basketball wins last night, down by as many as 12 in the first half. They tie it 40-40 at halftime. Big day for DeBonza. He drops 36, 7, and 5. Rob Wright chips in 30. Richie Saunders was tremendous as well. They combined the big 3 for 80 points last night as they beat Baylor on the road in Waco 99-94 in a high-scoring Big 12 showdown.
Yeah, that was a big win for Kevin Young and crew. They needed that one in the worst way, and I think that this team is just missing one other auxiliary scorer. I mean, they've got the big 3. They combined for 80 of the 99 points. You're not going to win every game like that. So they're going to have to find guys, whether it be Kennard Davis or this Postic or somebody off the bench to just provide more production for the Cougars.
They needed a win. Him and Rob Wright did not come off the floor. They both played all 40 minutes. They combined for 66 points. Well, it's Big 12 play. You're on the road, and you were on a losing streak. You had to get the ship righted.
You had to, but I'm just saying, does lightning strike like that all the time? Are you able to win games with 3 guys scoring over 85% of your points?
And having to come back time and time again. When is BYU going to play with the lead? We know that they can come back.
That's coaching.
DeBonza does become the first freshman to score over 30 points in 4 games.
Yes. He cemented himself as the number 1 pick.
He's the biggest name since Jimmer Fredette at BYU, and it's going to be a one and done, obviously. We think he's going to be the number 1 pick in the NBA draft.
He's the best player that's ever played for BYU.
100%.
Yes.
100%.
I got a headline.
Okay.
I'm ready. A guy that Utah Tech will see on the gridiron, and he probably shouldn't be. Montana linebacker Solomon Tuliapupu will return for the 2026 season after being granted a not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7, not 8, but 9th year of eligibility by the NCAA. This guy will be, Utah Tech will be playing against this guy in the fall.
9 years of eligibility.
This is a grown man.
I saw there was another player that's getting a 7th. The NCAA granted a 7th. And look, I understand injuries and red shirts, medical red shirts.
all kinds of things.
But 9 years in college football?
Yeah. This guy's lived through the
Like,
COVID
when
era.
do you say, as a parent, son, it's time to move on in life?
Graduate already.
Yeah. You better have his master's and his doctorate at this point.
It's going to be like
He's
Will
already-
Ferrell starting a little like out of school fraternity or something because he loves
Jeez.
college so much.
Yeah,
He's an old
straight
guy
up
at
Tommy
school.
boy. Lots of people go to school for 7 years. Yeah, they're called doctors.
I don't think Solomon's going to be a doctor.
Utah Tech basketball gearing up for 2 huge home games this Thursday and Saturday.
Yeah.
And Trujillo named the
Yes.
WAC player
That's my
and
boy.
newcomer of the week in the WAC. It's his first WAC player of the week selection that came earlier in the week. It's the old Hammer rivalry. Tomorrow night, we'll have the game live on the Fan Sports Network. I'll be over there with Ben Lindquist. Rod Zundel and Mike Olson will have the call on ESPN+. Huge rivalry game, huge implications at the top of the conference standings, and it gets just as big on Saturday night as you welcome in Cal Baptist, because UVU, Cal Baptist, and Utah Tech hold down the top 3 spots in the WAC. They're all fighting for the number 1 seed going to the conference tournament in WAC Vegas.
Yeah.
UVU, there's been a lot of public talk across the country about them not right now paying their exit fee from the WAC and not eligible for the conference tournament. They have, made them basically go dark on their media coverage for their home games, and it's kind of just been a nightmare for attorneys. There must be a plan in place. I still think
You've said
Utah
that,
Valley
but-
is going to figure out a way to settle this and get. I just don't think it's fair to the student athletes.
Yeah.
To keep the men's and women's team out of the conference tournament and potential NCAA berth over an exit fee that Cal Baptist has already had to pay. Now, Utah Tech and SU did not have to pay the exit fees, but it all comes down to revenue sharing of the conference funds. And UVU is upset about something, and I don't know what will be the resolution of this, but rest assured, behind the scenes, there's a lot of people probably working on this.
The only thing the WAC has said was the Western Athletic Conference statement was made by Rebecca Ray, February 15th. Beginning today with the men's basketball game between Abilene Christian and Utah Valley, the Western Athletic Conference has moved all Utah Valley home athletic contests from its broadcast schedule until further notice. These events will not be available for broadcast on ESPN Plus or otherwise. This action is required due to Utah Valley's failure to meet its obligations under WAC bylaws, resulting in its status as a member institution not in good standing. The conference is obligated to enforce its bylaws and associated contractual requirements.
Look, I got to believe that UVU knew that this could be a possibility. And I got to believe their attorneys are saying, look, we've got this. We're going to handle this.
Yeah.
There has to be some kind of a method of the madness. They have to feel like they have some ground to stand on here to get to this point with the conference.
They do end the statement by saying, and we remain open to discussion should Utah Valley seek to resolve this matter.
Yeah. So hey, pay the exit fee. We'll listen to you.
It's that simple. You're going to make some money out there in the, what are they, Big West new conference? Is that where Utah Valley's headed? The Big West,
Correct,
right? Yeah.
correct.
So they're going to make some nice money from joining the Big West. Why don't they just pay this and be done with it?
No, Cal Baptist did. They paid their exit fee, from what I understand. So they're probably sitting there, yeah, make them pay it.
Yeah,
we
make
did.
them pay it.
Tomorrow night, 7:00. Pack the Burns. We need the community and the student section rocking tomorrow night, and cannot wait. Rod's going to be on the show. We're going to have Juddy hopefully on the show this week. It's a big week for Utah Tech men's basketball, to say the
I've
least.
coined it as the biggest week in Utah Tech basketball history in the Division I era. I think this is the most impactful, most important stretch of basketball games that they've had.
I completely agree.
I think it is.
The meaningful games have not been commonplace.
This is the time of year where a lot of these games the past few years have not meant anything.
And I'm happy for Jetty. Last couple of years, were frustrating.
Yes.
Not what he's used to. He's the winningest coach in the state of Utah in college basketball coaching history.
That's right.
And the last couple of years have been tough to come by wins, and they've got a team that could potentially make the postseason for the very first time and punch a ticket. They got to win the conference tournament. But if they can get the 1 seed, man, they're going to have a good opportunity and a couple wins away from making school history. That's what's in front of them. And it starts with these 2 games at home. Keep the 4-game win streak rolling. If you can roll it to 6, you control your own destiny for the rest of the month of February. We do have a couple select tickets to give out to the game, and more on this topic a little bit later. I want to go back. Any other headlines? Anything else noteworthy? Team USA medal count, the national use, they had 5 more medals yesterday.
Yes.
The Ben Ogden second in cross-country skiing. They had a bronze in alpine skiing women's team combined. They had Americans medaling in mixed curling doubles for the first time in Olympic history for USA. And then there was the young phenom male figure skater.
Yes, the quad god.
Yeah, the backflip guy.
Yeah.
He led that for the short program last night. Obviously,
he's a native of Alexandria, Virginia, not far from me.
The American girl, I can't remember her name. She took silver in the luge. I was watching the highlights last night, and my wife's like, "Why haven't we been watching the Olympics?" My wife loves watching the Olympics.
Yes, I need to get back.
And I'm
into
like,
it.
I've been busy. We've had other things going on. I haven't been home a lot lately, and we will. I watched a little bit of the skiing slope style.
Okay,
with the girl from Sweden beating the Chinese girl that's a Stanford student, the 22-year-old. Anyway, I've been taking in a little bit the last couple of nights.
I haven't taken in enough. I'm going to start getting into speed skating today.
There you go.
Yeah.
The Super Bowl ratings were released.
Oh, nice.
Ratings out for Super Bowl 60. NBC announced the Sunday Super Bowl between the Patriots and Seahawks averaged 125 million viewers, making it the second most watched Super Bowl ever, only behind last year. While the number is high, it's down about 3 million viewers from last year. And Bad Bunny's halftime show averaged just over 128 million viewers, breaking NFL social media records. So Bad Bunny, people watched it.
They did.
I think 6 million or so on the Kid Rock halftime show, the Turning Point USA thing.
Yes.
I never turned that on.
Me neither.
I was there for the game. I wasn't sidetracking. My team was playing.
That's right.
The musicians, that's fluff. If you like them or not like them, I thought the messaging was great from Bad Bunny.
Pre-game, they had Green Day. That was good. I don't know if you saw on TV.
I did see a little bit of that.
They had Green Day out there. That was cool.
Yeah. They introduced Clint Kubiak. Raiders are hoping to keep Max Crosby. He mentioned him specifically during the introductory press conference. He wants him moving forward. He said he wants Crosby part of the team's success, called it a no-brainer to be able to have the talented defensive presence on one side of the ball. Mark Davis reiterated Kubiak's comments, calling the 28-year-old a great Raider.
Yeah, it's amazing what's being said about Crosby. Jay Glazer, who's real reputable, been reported that Crosby was, quote, done with the Raiders.
Yeah, he wasn't happy with the end of the season last year.
And then Crosby went on Coward and said, I don't know what he's talking about. He said that on Colin Coward's show. So,
he was unhappy that he wasn't able to
shut
play.
Down.
Yeah.
I understand, but that's over. You got to keep rolling, and this is the team that's paying. You got a tattoo of the Raiders logo on your arm. Like, this is a guy that wants to be in Las Vegas, so I hope they make him happy.
One other headline, LeBron James. Bron will see his all-NBA streak come to an end this season. The superstar forward for the Lakers ruled out of Tuesday's game against the Spurs. He's not going to hit the necessary 65-game threshold to be eligible for the league's annual awards, so he will not be eligible to be an All-Pro. At 41,
load management days.
Yeah, at 41, he's averaging 21.8 through 34 games played this season. One other headline, Charlie Woods verbally commits to Florida State. Oh, make that putt. Charlie Woods, legendary son of Tiger Woods, already agreeing verbally to Florida State. That was on a Tuesday. That was making the rounds on socials.
He's a Knoll
yesterday.
Good for him. All right, grade the court rush. We got to end it here.
Yeah, the end of the first hour, if you've been with us, Paulie said this was the worst court rush he's ever seen. This
From
is
a Power 5 school. Let me quantify that.
At TCU, and they beat Iowa State last night. For viewers listening, you'll have to just kind of visualize. For everybody watching on our live stream on YouTube, you'll be able to see, and then you be the judge. Is it the worst you've ever seen or not?
Toulson misses that one. It's academic. The Frogs upset number 5 Iowa State, and they keep their tourney hopes alive.
See, you see a good little amount
trickling
of them.
out.
Yeah, they're trickling.
There's 100. There's 200.
But as the time elapses,
they're hustling.
they're still going. You know, it must be hard getting out of the student section, but
I mean, they're recording it and they're in the mosh pit.
yeah, they all got their phones
This
out.
is not the worst I've ever seen.
No, wait till it goes to the wide angle. There it is. That's not even half the court.
The
Not
students,
that bad.
The students,
It's pretty bad for a Division I team to have that level
for a
of
Big
rush.
12 team, that is pretty bad.
That's pretty bad.
But it's not the worst I've ever seen.
Okay, it probably is the worst I've seen. I've never seen a half court, like half of the
They're
court
still
filled.
filling in. Give them a minute. They've been drinking.
Okay, you're right. There you
They
go.
might have tripped down the stairs, had to pick themselves up and find their cell phone. Might have to go get a
Oh
new.
yeah, there's that guy doing the Trump thing you were talking about this morning.
Everybody does that.
I don't know
what
what
that
that
stupid
is.
thing means. I need to look that up. I haven't even looked it up.
I'll look it up on Urban Dictionary. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, that's your go-to, Urban Dictionary.
Yeah, that's reliable.
Come on, Paulie. That's not the worst court rush I've ever seen.
It's
Do I
up
have any
there.
comparable?
I'll find
I
a bad
couldn't
one.
find any,
I'll
but
try and find another.
Yeah.
Whatever.
All right, Paulie wanted to play that. I don't think that's the worst I've ever seen. It wasn't a packed student section, and there wasn't 5,000, 6,000 students, but there was a good 1,000 that ended up getting down on the court. They were packed in pretty tight, at least half the court. It wasn't the worst. It wasn't the best, certainly, not even close. So I see where you're coming from, but I've seen. I swear I've seen worse. I swear that's got to be. Maybe bottom 10, but not the worst. I think you're going too far.
Maybe
with
it's
that.
just recency effect going on there. It's like a really bad one that I've seen lately.
Yeah. All right, got to take a break. That's your sports headlines. It's The Drive, rolling through a Wednesday morning on the Fan Sports Network, and we'll be right back. Yeah, Wednesday morning. How you doing? Thanks for locking us in, loading us up. Show today brought to you by Coral Canyon Golf Course. Get out and play. It's fantastic. Weather's going to be great all month long. We're getting into peak golf season. Make sure you plan ahead. Get your tee times. CoralCanyonGolf.com or call 435-688-1700. Make sure you stop by the Bistro 72 Grill before or after your round. Get some range balls and make it great. Make it great. Go low in 2026. Very special guest joining us now. Rod Zundel, who is the voice of the Trailblazers. You can hear him on all the road games right here on the Fan Sports Network. He does the home games on ESPN Plus with Mike Olson. And, man, Rod, we are having fun. This is the first time in a long time that there's been a fever pitch of excitement surrounding the possibilities surrounding Coach Judkin's men's basketball team, and this is a huge homestand this week. I don't know that I can undersell this homestand. This is a gigantic opportunity to be outright leaders, have the inside track, control their own destiny for the 1 seed if they can win 2 more in a row. UVU tomorrow night, Cal Bap on Saturday night.
That's a great time to be a Trailblazer, right?
Yeah.
And we haven't been able, like you mentioned, to talk about this late in the season. And talking with Utah Valley head coach Todd Phillips yesterday, I said, these two schools have not had this important of a game where something matters this late in the season since the junior college days. And he goes, it's meant something to us. So I said, I'm talking about both teams. But yeah, and I've come up, and Jetty doesn't like this, but I say, how do you like us now? A little Toby Keith playoff. And he kind of shakes his head at that. But, on the coaches show last night, you heard here on the Fan and Trailblazer Sports Vision on YouTube, I talked about with Jetty that it was a struggle since moving from Division II to Division I, and tough to find enough players and the talent and to be competitive and have this moment. But now that it's here, what does it feel like? And he said, you know what? It's been a challenge, but right now we just have to get better because our goal is to win the conference tournament. He never says our goal is to win the conference regular season. He says our goal is to win the conference tournament. So they're trying to keep it in perspective, and I'm trying to get it out of them and say how excited you guys are. And they're all giving us the coaches talk. So these guys, they're even keel. When they get out on the floor, you can see they're getting after it. They get after each other. They get after themselves. But when it comes time, and we brought this up last week again, and we just can't overemphasize it enough. These guys, when they're punched in the face, they might stagger a little bit, but then they'll come back and they'll reshape and regain themselves and get after it. So yeah, it is the biggest. You mentioned it, the biggest homestand. Yeah, the biggest week in our Division I history, and probably for at least back in 2015-16 in the Division II
West
days. Yeah. So yeah, it's fun. I was a little disappointed that we didn't have more people out. It was loud last week against UT Arlington. I was disappointed we didn't fill up the stands a little bit more.
4,000 fans for SUU to 2,000 fans.
Yeah.
At least we still had a rowdy student section. Not as big of a student
section. They
section.
filled it all the way up to the top in that end section. For Southern Utah.
But I think those in-state games just draw more. I think SUU, UVU, it should be packed tonight, Rod. There should be no seats open in the Burns.
But look at last night with Utah State. Now they've had more of a reputation, everything like that. They had the place packed. The students were all there for a Fresno team that wasn't that great. Yeah. Okay? They show up. You've been asking for a winner. We've got one now. Now come and let's get together and let's get this thing done. And that was loud last Thursday night. They did the community I thought was unbelievable. They showed up and all that, and the students that showed up they were incredible as well.
And the signs were out. It just wasn't as big of student section as the SUU game.
No, but it was every bit as loud. Yeah. And so hopefully tomorrow night we can pack that place and just because that really helped this team get through. Last Thursday against UT Arlington. Yeah. I if we didn't have the crowd that we had, in all honesty, and I think the players they feel it. They said it helped them. So let's pack the place tomorrow. It's going to be fun. Yeah. You've asked for a winner and said if you start winning, we'll come. Well, we're winning now. We got a chance. Yeah. Now let's show up and let's get after this baby.
Utah Valley is 8-3 in the WAC. They're leading the conference right there, tied with Cal Bap. Cal Bap barely got a win last Thursday night at home against Tarleton.
Yeah.
I think it was a 1 or 2 point win.
No, Abilene Christian.
Or Abilene Christian.
Yeah.
But Utah Tech is 7-4. They're right there, and that's
They
how
are.
big this old Hammer rivalry is. This is the most meaningful rivalry game we've seen between these two schools in the sport of basketball. So let's hashtag pack the Burns. Utah Valley's 18-6 on the season.
Yes, but their splits are not great. They're 12-0 at home, and we went up there, Rob. We know how hard it is to play there.
And we played well until we started getting after the officials, and calls didn't go our way, and they kind of lost their composure a little bit because it was back and forth right up until midway through the second half.
But 3-6 on the road and a loss already at Cedar City.
Yeah, and Utah Tech's 8-2 at home, and that's we won 3 conference road games. That's never happened before, and so now we're 8-2, and we're taking care of business at home. So, and they're fun to watch. And if you go back to last year, it was kind of the same scenario. We got beat by double digits in Orem, and then we came back and lost to them in overtime. So, I'm expecting this to be every bit as good as a game as Thursday night against UT Arlington. You know, if we play extra time, I wouldn't be surprised.
Any worry that UT Arlington got beat as bad as they did? Do you think they were exhausted after the double overtime loss? Because UVU beat them on last Saturday. I think it was 80
By
to
19,
81 to 60 or something.
Yeah, something like that. 80-61 or something. When you saw them walk out of the gym, they were spent.
Felt depleted.
They were spent. The Trailblazers took the life out of them for that night, and I don't think they recovered. Now we still have to go to Arlington one more time, and so that's going to be tough. We got next week. We got Arlington and Tarleton State. So if we could get a split there, I mean, I'm looking forward ahead. But you know, we have a tough road ahead of us because the 2 tough games this week. Next week, 2 more. Their final road trip to Texas. Then we come back for Abilene Christian, for Southern Utah, and to wrap it up with Utah Valley. So still a lot of work to be done, but to have this opportunity right now, where it's in your hands, right in front of your face, that you have a chance in a matter of 3 more days to be the number 1 team in conference. Could you imagine thinking that at the beginning of the season? No. And it's incredible. It's fun. These guys are fun to watch.
But we did get early glimpses that this team was built differently.
Yeah.
With the athleticism, the length of their wing players.
The first game, and we talked about this, I believe, last week. The first game, they had more dunks in South Dakota than they had all of last year. And you said, okay, that's something different that we haven't seen a lot.
Yeah.
But you knew that they had the length, but you didn't know what their mentality was, what their oomph was, and we're finding that out as we go along.
And the execution, Rod. I mean, they're second in the conference in scoring offense, assist to turnover ratio, assists per game, field goal percentage, 3-point defense is the defensive stat, but they're third in
they're
three-point
one of the top
percentage.
2 in not turning the ball over, too.
That's amazing.
That's a good combination. Top in leading and assists, top in not turning the ball over.
That's a great thing to have for this team. I mean, they're just become an offensive dynamo from year to year. I mean, last year this team offensively was out of sorts in many games, and it seemed like this year they've got so many athletes and a lot of shooters. I love the shooting prowess of this team.
Well, and then they've got Ethan Potter, the transfer from Utah Valley, coming in, and he can get his buckets over anybody just because of that little jump hook shot going back to the 60s and 70s that nobody uses anymore. He uses that perfectly. So you've got that good combination. The only thing that this team does not have is a rim protector. And that's the only thing that they don't have. Because they only have their tallest guy is 6'8". So you have to rely on the 3-point shooting. And UT Arlington, they were the best in the country in 3-point shooting defense percentage-wise, holding everybody down to around 26-27. Trailblazers shot 35%. Now, the first meeting, they won for 15. So
we kind of live and die by the 3, and that 3-point percentage has slowly been creeping up. We've been shooting at a better clip.
Yeah, there's the first month and a half of the season, they were around 27%. Now we're up to 32, 33, and only one game that we haven't hit 5 or more 3-pointers. And we lead the league in 3-pointers attempted. So, and for the most part, the 3-point shots are good shots.
Yeah.
A couple of times they try to do the one-on-one and step back with a guy in your face, and I just drive Juddy nuts because he wants to get the 3-pointer going into Ethan, going inside, and then coming back out. But
a couple of things to note. I mean, Noah Belonga with the pick and roll action with Ethan Potter down the stretch against UT Arlington. His length and Potter's action, they couldn't stop that in crunch time. And then that extra pass, even if it's nothing available, they kick it back out, and then they're open good shot selection for threes. This is a UVU team that won the regular season. They were 15-1 last year. They went to the WAC tournament. They lost to Grand Canyon. They didn't make it to the tournament. They ended up having to settle for the NIT. Todd Phillips has done a really good job. I can't understand how they're only 3-6 on the road, but they're 12-0 at home.
That's because the Western Athletic Conference is a really good basketball conference, and some great defensive teams, especially in Texas, that they put a lot of pressure on you. And if you're not patient with that pressure, you can find yourself in a big world of hurt in a hurry. Trailblazers have been able to avoid that. They've been patient more than they ever have the last couple years against the Texas teams. And so that's just a testament to how tough it is to win on the road in the WAC. Just like in the Big 12, BYU found that out. I mean, they're paying millions, and they finally got a road win yesterday. But against the good teams, it's a struggle. So it's not so much that Utah Valley is not doing something. It's about the parity in the conference on home games and road wins are tough to come by for everybody. I mean, Cal Baptist lost their first three games of the season all on the road, and they were the preseason pick, and they haven't lost since.
Yeah, they've gotten heating up in a hurry. And UVU does it with their big three of Holcomb, Leanhart, and their transfer from UCF, Hendricks.
That's Taylor Hendricks' little brother that just got traded
to
away
Memphis.
from. He probably wanted to be closer to Big Bro, and then his brother gets traded to Memphis.
Yeah, and his mother was talking about how great it is to have him right there, and she could on all that now. And I thought this when I saw that, and I was going to ask the guys at Utah Valley. I said, are you worried about, he's a junior, and are you worried about losing him, sending him back in the Midwest or somewhere like that to be back with the bigger brother? So
is Penny Hardaway still the coach at Memphis?
He might have gotten pushed out too. I got to check that. But
I think little Penny is
he might be
for those who aren't old enough, you have no idea what I'm talking about.
Hendricks does lead the WAC in three-pointers made. So if he wants to go somewhere in the portal, he'll probably have options.
Yeah, and that's one thing that has made him so dynamic is being able to make the three-pointers. He had a couple against us in that first meeting, but again, on this matchup with Utah Valley in that first meeting with Orem, we just came off a loss at Cal Baptist where we gave up 17 offensive rebounds. So the manhood was challenged, and they did a little bit. That's when they went through a stretch where they just could not keep people off the boards. And that's turned around now. We've out-rebounded the last three opponents.
Which is huge.
That's amazing. And they had a 6'11" guy on UT Arlington, and then a couple of tall, lanky guys as well. So, but in that game against Utah Valley, I think we're down 9 at halftime, but it was close, and it was back and forth. I mean, it was like a 4-point game. 12, 13 minutes left in the second half. And then
Dario Domingos had a big run.
Came in. Yeah, they did a nice job on Ethan Potter. He didn't have his best game because they really sagged off on him. But we still moved the ball. And we got out on the break. And but then that was the one game where we lost our composure just a little bit and started worrying about things that we couldn't control. And that's the only time that we've done it. So I think it's going to be a better output tomorrow night.
Got to slow down Leonhardt. Got to slow down Hendricks. Got to slow down Jackson Holcomb.
They stopped Holcomb last time. I think they kept him in single digits, but Davis came off for like 20-something points. He had a career night.
I remember that.
And that's the thing, that the Trailblazers have done a nice job of stopping the stars, but then somebody else comes up and has a big moment.
Well, what I like is Juddy is bringing Trujillo off the bench lately, and I think that's giving a chance to come in, no pun intended, and really have an impact. We did not have a lot of bench points early in the season.
No.
We were getting no production from the bench. But with Domingos coming on strong the second half of the season, and now Chance coming off the bench, we actually have some bench points on a nightly basis.
Yeah, and that's the key. You want some spark. That there's no drop off, and so that's kind of Chance is a starter. Let's face it, but
100%.
He's coming off the bench, like you said.
He's playing starter minutes still.
Dario Domingos, what he had 12 points in 10 minutes and six rebounds. He doesn't play a lot, but when he comes in, he's changed the game the last 2 or 3 games.
Sure.
On that Texas road trip, we're kind of getting beat up a little bit. He came in and forced them to foul. and he was kind of our player of the game against Abilene Christian because he hit 7 of 8 free throws, 1-0 for 1 shooting. But he came in and made the big guys foul him and got them into foul trouble and went to the free throw line and just changed the whole dynamic. Same thing when he went to Tarleton a couple of days later last week. Same thing. And then he came in and was a physical force against UT Arlington. And they're going to need that again tomorrow. Again, I keep harping on this, but it is so critical in the success of this team that everybody, and you can go right down the line, has an impact on the game pretty much every game, night in and night out. I mean, Noah Belonga, he wasn't he didn't have a shot going. He had some good looks, but he couldn't hit the barn last week. But he had a big steal for a dunk. He had
monstrous dunk.
Some assists and all that. Tanner Davis has struggled shooting the last couple of games. Hit a freshman wall, but he had like 13 assists or steals in the last 3 games. So everybody is having their part. Dario Domingo's coming in. Britton Barrett hobbled all of the last week and a half. Came in, hit a big 3. Everybody is having their moment, which you haven't been able to say that the last few years since we've gone to Division I. So it's just a fun thing to watch, and I'm so excited because it's right there. Win or lose, it's right there, and I think they're going to be number 3, 4 at the worst, but I think they're going to be probably number 3 or 2 because I don't think Cal Baptist and Utah Valley is going to lose any more home games, and the only road games they're going to lose to us.
I like that mentality. The 14-11 Utah Tech Trailblazers taking on Utah Valley, coming in 18-6. The old Hammer rivalry,
and we have Utah Valley twice here at home in the next 3 weeks.
Look, you win 2 more in a row. You control your own destiny, and Juddy has not been in that position the last couple of years. This is a good, and this team is a different team. You get these guys out in front of everybody, and who knows? Maybe they can seal the deal. Don't count them out.
Biggest week in the Division I era for sure.
I will never count these guys out because they can shoot. They've got some length. The only problem is that we don't have a rim protector.
I know.
And that hurts us. But the thing is, they've been making up for it in toughness.
Look, I thought with not getting Marvell Allen ever to play, the 4-star, the high school accolades, all the injuries he's done. And now you've got, Madiba Owono, your best on-ball defender, and your uber athletic, combo guard that's out for the season with an ACL. You've had some things go against you, and yet for them to be where they are shows the resiliency of this roster of the guys that are available.
Oh, if and buts were candy and nuts every morning, it'd be Christmas for
and
this
everybody
team.
has injuries. I get that.
You look back and go, Madiba's probably watching back in France saying, oh, man, I wish I was there, and we wish he was here. Yeah. And Marvell Allen wished that worked. And then we also got Boston Harker that was going to come in, and he was going to be a big bench guy. That he's kind of in the same type of a guy that Chance Trujillo is, and he's been rehabbing an injury all year long. So
I do worry about the minutes played from the core 6-7 guys because Juddy does not have a deep bench right now.
Well, but he's been substituting a lot different in the last month than he had previous. So, trying
to get ahead of that.
Well, and these guys, let's face it, they're going to have to play a lot. Yeah, they're going to have to play a lot of minutes. And he's saying going out there and I'll give you a minute break. Just tug on your jersey, but they're going to have to play. They're going to have to know it. There's no excuses. Yeah, it's good to be young.
It is. Rod Zundel, everybody. Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, where will you be?
Burge Arena.
I've got 2 good seats right here to give away. You can get your tickets online if you want to pick good seats before it sells out. Hopefully it's a sellout tomorrow night, just like we nearly were for the SUU game. Yeah. We've got 2 tickets right now. We'll take our winner in the break. Rod, always good to see you. Have a great call. We'll see you
game day tomorrow. Let's get up for it.
Let's go. This is The Drive. Final timeout here. We'll be back to wrap things up. Paulie, tell everybody the number and pick a number here, buddy.
All right, 435-990-9950 is the phone number, and we're going to go with
533.
Don't do that to Tara.
How about Juice Hold, number 5? Let's go 5.
All right.
I like Juice Hold.
Caller 5 right now, 435-990-9950.
I'm sorry.
So you're going 4 or 5? Holt's 4.
Okay, we're going 4.
My bad.
You almost nailed it, dude. Really close. Really close. We got to take a break. We'll be right back.
don't you make that announcement? Get it on recording.
I got to spend some money today.
All right.
Now, if you're going to spend some money today, plug for our sponsors, go to Zag, go to Coral Canyon, go to Game Day Men's Health. If you need to see a doctor, you can go to One Health, family-focused primary care clinic here in St. George. You can get down to Prime IV for the Valentine's Day special. Or if you want to do something for yourself or someone you love, how about Soda Weight Loss? Paulie, tell us what's the latest and greatest as you're on this fitness journey with our friends from Soda.
Got the next weigh-in on Friday. Results to last a lifetime, but you're only with them a short time. So anytime you have an opportunity to shed weight when you're like me, I'm over 300 pounds. I've tried every diet. I've tried injections. I've tried everything and really not had an answer. But I found out the answer when I got with Soda Weight Loss. It is because I just didn't know how to eat. I just didn't know what was good to put in my body. And every program is specifically tailored for the client. So they'll find out what works for you, what you like to eat that's program friendly. And if you are on the Ozempic or the Tirzepatide or any of those, you could get off of those now and decide to lose weight, substantial amounts of weight for the long term. So results to last forever is basically and you have the guidance from a licensed nutritionist all along the way. If you'd like to get signed up today, 866-800-SOTA, SODA, or book online at sodasotaweightloss.com.
I love it. I love it. Keep up the good work, buddy. And if you're looking for results, go see our friends at Soda Weight Loss. I love their tagline.
Yeah.
Get with Soda for a short time for results that last a lifetime.
Yeah.
You can make the change. You got to dig in. You got to be disciplined, but you can make the change. And proud of you and your commitment to do that. We've got just a few minutes left of the show here. And boy, we had so much other topics I wanted to get into. They came out with the 2025 season to top 50 coaches. I don't think we're going to have time to break that whole thing down. We'll save that for another show. I wanted to still, talk about the Seahawks. The Super Bowl parade is today. They're expecting record numbers. I don't think Seahawks fans have come off cloud 9 yet from last Sunday.
Yeah. And
they did a little, NFL Films did a little tribute video. They had people mic'd up and everything and the celebration. Do we have time to play that, Paulie? Probably not.
Probably not.
You're killing my buzz, man. You're killing my buzz from the Seahawks winning the Super Bowl.
Maybe we have time.
Sammy D was at Raising Cane's.
Yeah, I did see that.
They had a new soft opening at a Seattle University district. He was in there doing a promotional spot as a cashier and a food deliverer behind the counter. They interviewed him. He was giving shout outs to the Jets fans that were still rooting for him. That's Sammy D right there at Raising Cane's. This is the audio. And this is, look, he got drafted by the Jets, and I think you see a little bit of his character. He wished he would have done more. Here's what Sam Darnold had to say at Raising Cane's. Dude, he's rocking his New Balances with a pair of sweats on and a Raising Cane's t-shirt.
I like the King of Seattle. Man of the people.
Give the man a key to the city. I mean, what a comeback story.
Yeah.
For a guy that people were giving up on, and now he's a Super Bowl champ.
Comeback player of the year and Super Bowl champ, the last two Seahawks quarterbacks. Geno Smith, comeback player of the year.
Yeah, McCaffrey won the award this year.
Yeah.
But look, man, I mean, we met Sam Darnold. He was gracious enough with me and my son in December to take a picture with my son at Tom's Watch Bar. He was out watching the Alabama and Oklahoma college football first round game. There was a fight that night. UFC was just some friends hanging out. Anytime you go out in the public, you're okay with people coming up and asking for an autograph or a picture. And Sam is winning over the fans of Seattle.
I like that.
And
bigger name
being
in
out
Seattle.
there in the community. Yeah.
Bigger name in Seattle. Sam Darnold or Steve Largent?
Cal Raleigh.
Yeah, I mean, Steve Largent's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
But he never won a Super Bowl.
Never won a Super Bowl.
He never won a Super Bowl. Cal Raleigh's probably a harder one because the Seattle Mariners fans out there love Cal Raleigh.
Yeah, that was a better
That's
one.
a tough one. But look, Sam, there's nobody more popular in Seattle right now than Sam Darnold. He did what Russell Wilson has only done.
Yeah.
A young Russell Wilson. And look, Sam Darnold's only 28. We got him for 2 more years.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a $100 million 3-year contract. That's cheap in the NFL.
That is cheap.
That's a cheap deal.
For a quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, he made some bonus money, got a couple bonuses for the regular season, the record, for some statistics, and then he got another $1 million bonus for winning the Super Bowl, which offsets his jock tax he had to pay in stinking California. I don't know if people saw that story. We talked about that a little bit the other day, and he ended up losing money on the Super Bowl because what he made with all his trips to California, he gave back plus some. But who cares? He's a Super Bowl champ forever. And when you look at that draft class and him being the number 2 pick, it took a while. But Sam Darnold wins a Super Bowl title before guys like Lamar Jackson that were in that same draft class.
And his cap hit is 30 million? 33?
33.
It's just some guys to put an example. Kyler Murray's hit for next season 52.5. Lamar Jackson 76.
Yeah.
I mean, some highly paid quarterbacks. One named Jackson very good, and one Murray very bad, but both paid more than Sam Darnold.
Final thoughts on the show. We're running out of time here. A couple things that we didn't really get deep into, but we talked about. Obviously, huge game for the Trailblazers.
Yes.
Tomorrow night, had Rod in. That's fun. We'll be there. I'll be doing the radio call. Rod will have the TV call. Hope you'll be in attendance. If not, you'll be listening or watching. Livy Hamlin, career high 23 for BYU women's basketball.
Yeah.
They snapped, I think it was a 7-game losing streak in conference play against Iowa State. They won at the Marriott Center last night.
Yeah.
We didn't really dive deep into that, but cool for the former Snow Canyon Warrior. Also, the high school, congrats to Ryan Ball, Snow Canyon comeback win against Cedars. And I do want to give a shout out to Tyler Monks. This team did not quit on him after not winning a single region game. They gave Snow Canyon all they wanted and more last night in a playoff game. Desert Hills also checks out of the playoffs, and we've got 3 games tonight, Region 9 girls, but they're all on the road.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about the winners tomorrow, and then we'll have more home site games on Friday, and the girls' home site games, everybody gets a bye in for a girls' basketball on Saturday. You guys have been great. Thank you so much for tuning in, locking us in. Thanks to our sponsors, for Paulie, for Tara. I'm Devin Dixon. This has been The Drive on your home for sports, the Fan Sports Network. Have a good Wednesday, everybody.